And church, if you really want a clue into what you value in life, you see your real values in what you praise the most. If you paid attention to yourself and listened to what you praise the most and what you praise the least, you could start writing down your real values. If you never praise your family, I don't care how much you say you love them, I am going to question it. If you never praise your work, I don't care how much you say you appreciate your job, I'm going to question that. Our real values get expressed in what we praise more than what we say our real values are. I got to tell you something I really value. I really value what happens when adults sit at tables and talk to each other in intelligent ways about important things. I value that. In our church, we call these life groups. And every year we have an all-church emphasis that I want to praise for a few minutes. The Sunday after Easter Sunday, I'm going to start a new sermon series called 1 Month to Live or No Regret Living. And we already have 50-some people signed up to lead discussion groups, and we got this great book called 1 Month to Live. It's written by a husband-wife team. It's all broken up into one-day readings. And we're going to read this book together, and then you can join a group, a life group, and discuss the things that you need to work on so that you get to end up living your life without any regrets. Now, I don't know how old I'm going to live, but I don't want to be 75 looking back over my life and saying, "You idiot, why did you waste your life?" I don't want to do that. There's 15 years between where I am right now and me being 72. And I want to live those 15 years in a rich, full, and delightful and meaningful way. And I want to be 72 and have no regrets about the last 15 years. Can anybody identify with that? Not that you're going to be 72, but you're going to be 15 years older. I used to be young too. I know it's hard to believe that. Tom and I used to have full head of hair. We know what it's like. Listen, why not give 1 hour a week to sit in a room with a group of adults and talk about the things that will help you live a quality of life that you won't have any regrets about? You say, "Well, Doc, I've tried these groups before and it didn't work for me." Go to a different group. This is how our church works. If you don't like the group you're in, change groups. Don't drag yourself to a group you don't like. "Oh, I better be religious. I better go to that group." Be non-religious. If you don't like the group, go to another one. That's why we have 50-some. Okay? In your bulletin, we've got this nice pamphlet. Look at all the places you can go. Look at all the different times you can attend a group. It'll enrich your life. All right, back to work. Now, I'm asking you to think of this week, and in your mind, look at a sheet of paper and draw a line right down the middle. On one side, I want you to think of all the times you praised somebody this week, and on the other side, I want you to think of all the times you were critical. Okay? Just do this little calculation in your mind. Maybe a week's too long. How about yesterday? How about this morning? Try to think of this week or just yesterday, how many times did you praise somebody compared to how many times you criticized them? Now, what does your paper look like? Are there more marks on the praise side or on the critical side? Now I've got you thinking in the right direction. I want you to try to think of the last time you praised anybody or anything. You see, the unwillingness to praise exposes a distressed and insecure soul. If you have a hard time remembering the last time you praised anyone or anything, here's what it's saying to you. Your soul is distressed, and your soul is insecure. Praise slips out of our daily behavior for very identifiable reasons. One, the pressure of life can distress us, and in our stressed out, anxious-ridden moments, we lose the ability to praise. Look, that stress isn't good for you. It's not healthy for you. It'll ruin your life. You have to learn to come to terms with that. And your inability to praise tells you you're putting way too much stress on your soul, and you better pay attention to it. Second of all, praise slips out of our lives when we deceive ourselves into believing that when I praise somebody else, that takes something away from me. See, some of you have a hard time praising other people because you feel like if you praise them, you lose something. It's like there's only 5 pieces of pie, and if you give one piece of pie away, you don't have it. Okay, listen to what I want to say. Praising other people doesn't take anything away from you. It adds something to you. And I want to give the idea that you lose something when you praise somebody a good hard kick. It's just not true. You don't lose anything. You gain. You are enriched. 3, and this is one where I'm going to have to be a little grouchy. Sometimes we become critical because we think critical equals smart. Do you know the kind of people who never come up with an idea, but they think they're smart because they can criticize every idea you will come up with? You know those kind of people? If you're one of them, you get on my nerves. Anybody else? You're not smart because you can criticize everybody else's ideas. You're smart when you can add ideas to the stew. Listen, one person with average intelligence who is critical can make more objections, can criticize more than 10 smart people can ever answer. It doesn't take anything to be critical. You're not smart because you can find everything wrong with everybody else and every plan that ever existed. That doesn't make you smart. It makes you critical. And there's a difference.